Right now, on To The Point. A former Major League Baseball player arrested, accused of killing his father-in-law inside the family Tahoe home. Hamas releases 2 American hostages, a mother and a daughter. In Gaza, millions are now displaced from their homes. And the fentanyl crisis. Families of teens who bought drugs on Snapchat are now suing the social media app.
Good evening. This is To The Point. I'm Alex Bell. A former Major League Baseball player is under arrest, accused of shooting and killing his father-in-law. It all happened at the family house in Homewood on the west shore of Lake Tahoe. Tonight, our Becca Habegger shows us what happened and how this is bringing much-needed answers to a years-long plea for help.
On the night of June 5th, 2021, 70-year-old Robert Gary Spoor and his wife, 68-year-old Wendy Wood, were found shot in the head in their Homewood house on the west shore of Lake Tahoe. Spoor died. Wood survived with severe injuries.
It's a huge loss. My brother was real close, the two of us best friends.
Soon after the shooting, the Placer County Sheriff's Office released surveillance video from that day showing someone with their face covered approaching the couple's home. The couple was shot several hours later. The Sheriff's Office now says they have identified that person as the couple's son-in-law and former Major League Baseball pitcher Danny Serafini. This 49-year-old accused of murder and attempted murder made his Major League debut with the Minnesota Twins in 1996. Danny Serafini's career included a brief stint with a minor league affiliate of the San Francisco Giants. In 2011, he married Erin Spoor, the couple's eldest daughter. Serafini was arrested in Winnemucca, Nevada Friday morning, along with a second person, a 33-year-old woman named Samantha Scott, who was arrested in Las Vegas. The Placer County Sheriff's Office says both she and Serafini knew each other and the victims, though the Sheriff's Office wouldn't elaborate beyond that. Both will be extradited to Placer County on one charge of murder and another of attempted murder. The Sheriff's Office that arrested Serafini in Nevada says he is also facing a charge related to child endangerment.
Dan Serafino opened up the Bullpen Bar.
We know Serafini owned a bar in Sparks, Nevada in the mid-2010s, which was the subject of an episode of Bar Rescue.
Dan convinced his parents to take out a $240,000 loan against their house to buy a bar.
It says he also lost a $14 million fortune in bad investments and a divorce settlement. It appears the bar has since closed and Serafini has largely been out of the public eye.
And the family told the San Francisco Chronicle that the mom who survived the shooting but lost her husband took her own life earlier this year. They say that they hold the shooter responsible for her death, too. In other news, this man, Matthew Sigario, is under arrest, accused of attacking a man in Elk Grove and pulling out a knife. A Sacramento County worker was passing by when this happened and started honking, scaring away the suspect. An investigation into vandalism and robbery of a 7-Eleven in Rio Linda continues. The sheriff's office just released this video of the crimes. It happened during a sideshow event. Dozens of people ransacked the place, and deputies need your help identifying those responsible. California's assault weapons ban has been ruled unconstitutional. That's according to a federal judge who says high-powered rifles are important for law-abiding people who want to protect themselves. The state's effort to limit who buys them goes against the Second Amendment. California's attorney general already said they filed an appeal to the ruling. And thousands are dead and thousands more are injured as the Israel-Hamas war continues. Israel says that they are still preparing for a ground invasion. And today, these 2 Americans from Illinois held hostage by Hamas have been released. So this is Judith and her 17-year-old daughter, Natalie. They were met at the border of the Gaza Strip by Israeli authorities and reunited with their family. The IDF says Hamas took more than 200 people hostage. Families of some of those hostages are now traveling to the Red Cross in Geneva, pleading for help.
Any civilized country should put as much pressure as they can for the release of the hostages.
The Red Cross in Geneva is called the International Committee of the Red Cross. It is a neutral humanitarian organization created in the 1800s and has helped captured soldiers and their families in both world wars. In an address to the nation last night, President Biden said America stands firmly with Israel as well as Ukraine, 2 U.S. allies at war. Meanwhile, Israeli airstrikes in Gaza continue. Millions are displaced from their homes, trapped without food, water, medicine, or electricity.
Went to the hospital. They were bombing above our heads. We were just terrified.
Pro-Palestinian protests are growing, with thousands taking to the streets in Yemen, Egypt, Iraq, and elsewhere, demanding a ceasefire in Israel's assault. And Governor Newsom was in Israel today. He met with Israel's president, the prime minister, victims of the Hamas attack, and parents of a Californian that is being held hostage. The governor says California is working to ship medical supplies and support humanitarian relief efforts in Israel and Gaza. In the race for a new House Speaker, it appears Republicans are back at square one. Republicans gathered for a secret ballot vote today after Ohio Republican Jim Jordan lost the vote for Speaker for the third time.
House Republicans deciding to move on from Jim Jordan as their candidate for Speaker following a secret ballot vote.
We're going to move forward with a new Speaker nominee. A Speaker has not been elected.
In his third floor vote, Jordan lost the support of 25 Republicans. That's 3 more than the last floor vote.
We'll have to go back to the drawing board.
We need to come together and figure out who our Speaker is going to be. I'm going to work as hard as I can to help that individual.
Democrats are united in their opposition. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffrey says it's time for House Republicans to embrace bipartisanship.
We're serious about partnering with House Republicans in a reasonable way to do the business of the American people.
But some Republicans are standing firm in their opposition. And lawmakers like Congressman Don Bacon say he and his wife have been receiving threatening voicemails since he voiced his opposition to Jim Jordan as Speaker.
It's time for Mr. Jordan, who I have no personal animus towards, it's time for him to step down, get somebody with a clean slate with no baggage.
Jordan says the threats were terrible and there's no place for that kind of behavior.
And House Republicans say there could be a candidate for Speaker next week, adding the next vote for Speaker could come as early as Tuesday. And remember, the House cannot function without a Speaker. All this as President Biden is requesting that Congress approve monetary aid for the wars in Israel and Ukraine. And 3 people are now pleading guilty in the election interference case in Georgia. One of former President Trump's co-defendants made the plea deal in court today, avoiding trial. He also agreed to testify against the others. Trump and 18 co-defendants were accused of conspiring to overturn the state's 2020 presidential election and spreading lies about the results. Still ahead on To the Point, the Ironman triathlon is in Sacramento this weekend. The closures you can expect.
We're sitting anywhere from 2 to 27 degrees cooler than we were 24 hours ago. How much cooler we could get into the weekend.
And families of teens who overdosed on drugs bought on Snapchat are now suing the social media app, wanting more protection for kids.
The dealer's in our kids' pocket 24/7. They come to your home and deliver to your house or somewhere nearby. It's very easy.
The Ironman triathlon is back in Sacramento. The race kicks off Sunday morning at Sutter Health Park in West Sacramento. So it's a 140-mile course, including a 2.5-mile swim from the American River to the Sacramento River, a 112-mile bike ride to the Delta and back to Sacramento for a full marathon through downtown. Now, there are going to be some big traffic impacts around downtown, Old Sacramento, West Sacramento, and the Capitol Mall. Some freeway ramps in the area will also be closed along Highway 50, so make sure you give yourself some extra time if you are headed to downtown this weekend. Wow. I was going to say.
I mean, that blows my mind how much work they're going to be doing that day. And,
oh, yeah.
You know, for some, maybe they'll like the weather on Sunday. We're looking at mostly cloudy skies for Ironman, and we are going to start seeing even some shower chances arriving. Now, the good thing about this, it's not the kind of rain that's going to completely shut down the race like it did 2 years ago. In fact, we're actually looking at pretty nice conditions for the most part. Mostly cloudy skies, 57 degrees at 7 a.m. The sunrise, 7:22 a.m. Slight chance for showers, but unlikely for the early morning start there. Getting to lunchtime, it's probably more likely you'll see a few of the showers pushing through. They shouldn't be too heavy. We are looking at maybe, if we're lucky, 1/10 of an inch of rain in the valley spots around Sacramento, but otherwise less than 1/10 of an inch. Temperatures approaching 70 degrees at that point. The finish, I say finish because most people finish in about 12.5 hours on average at 65 degrees around 7 p.m. We still are looking at chances for showers, though, at that hour. Now, as we take a look at our satellite radar, mostly clear skies right now, but clouds just offshore, just waiting to begin moving in the early morning hours for your Saturday. We will see the winds right around 15 to 20 miles per hour moving to Saturday. Pretty light for Sunday's race, but on Monday we are going to see some very strong wind gusts coming in out of the northwest there, mostly affecting areas north of Sacramento. Looking into Sunday's forecast for that rain, you start seeing around 10 a.m. here. It's starting to approach West Sacramento, then starts moving in right around the afternoon, and then by 6:30, looks like everyone kind of covered in cloud coverage. Stronger and heavier rain into the foothills, lighter rain right around the Sacramento area. So again, not too bad, not too impactful. If we do have thunderstorm chances, of course, that could be a little dangerous. Otherwise, right now, it's still a very slight chance to see that. That's the good news. Lower foothills, mid 70s out there in the 10-day forecast. That's bringing our low 70s into your Saturday and Sunday. Brief boost here in the upper 70s Monday, Tuesday with sunshine, mid to low 70s through next week.
Next on To the Point, the fentanyl crisis. Parents are now suing Snapchat. And of course, we hit the back roads of California for some spectacular fall colors. Welcome back. There's a new legal battle over drugs available on social media. Some families who have lost children to drug overdoses are suing Snapchat. They want the company to make changes to protect children.
Dozens of parents are calling for change, suing the social media platform Snapchat. They claim their children died after taking illegal drugs sold by dealers on the app.
Snapchat is the largest open-air drug market we have in the United States, especially when it comes to our kids.
Putting your kid on Snapchat is like dropping him off in the most dangerous drug-filled neighborhood and hoping he does well for himself.
More than 60 families have joined the lawsuit that claims Snapchat's features, including automatically deleted messages and the My Eyes Only privacy, make illegal activities harder to track. Amy Neville's 14-year-old son, Alexander, told her about his drug use.
Wanted to experiment with Oxy. I got some from a dealer on Snapchat. It has a hold on me and I don't know why.
Alex died the next night after his mother says he took a fentanyl-laced oxycodone pill he allegedly got from someone he met on Snapchat.
The dealer's in our kids' pocket 24/7. They come to your home and deliver to your house or somewhere nearby. It's very easy.
16-year-old Sammy Chapman also died after his parents say he overdosed on fentanyl he got from a dealer he allegedly met on the app.
He delivered a lethal dose of fentanyl to our home like a pizza.
Snap Inc., the owner of Snapchat, says it uses cutting-edge technology to try and keep users safe and is working hard to stop dealers from abusing our platform and to raise awareness about the dangers of fentanyl. Many of the parents say they're not suing for money. They just want more done to protect kids.
So let's be honest, right? They designed it. They know how to fix it.
A district attorney decided not to prosecute the alleged drug dealer in connection to Sammy Chapman's death. Sammy's family is now pushing for a law called Sammy's Law, meant to hold social media companies responsible for crimes committed on their platforms. And your price points, interest rates may be done increasing, at least for now. Fed Chairman Jerome Powell is suggesting the central bank is hitting the pause button, but said while inflation is down from a year ago, it's still too high. CVS is voluntarily pulling some common over-the-counter cold medications from their shelves, and it comes after health advisors determined the ingredient, phenylephrine, doesn't work, and the FDA has not ordered the removal, stressing the ingredient is not harmful. And new tonight, the U.S. Auto Workers Union boss says strikes will continue. They want better offers from companies and believes the union can gain more of it if it holds out longer in contract talks. 34,000 workers have been off the job at 6 vehicle assembly plants and nearly 40 distribution warehouses. The strike is nearing its 6th week. And every Friday, you already know, our John Bartell takes us on the back roads, and tonight he takes us to the Eastern Sierra to do some leaf peeping along June Lake.
When you think of the autumn season, you probably think of the vibrant yellow, red, and orange leaves of the East Coast. But this is not the East Coast.
California is not known for its fall colors, but if you head to the Eastern Sierra and take the June Lake Loop, I think you'll think differently.
This is the time of year that a lot of us wait for.
Dude, autumn happens here too.
The June Lake Loop, or Highway 158, hugs up against a stark and steep portion of the Sierra Nevada. Along the 15-mile drive, you'll pass by 4 uniquely picturesque lakes.
You can just drive the loop. You don't even have to get out of your car. We get to see all these beautiful lakes, fall colors.
Laura Kaler and her infant son Will help operate California Fall Colors, an online reporting database that maps out the changing leaves in real time.
We have over 100 color spotters that send us reports from around the state.
And one of those spotters is photographer Dakota Snyder.
Every time I go out, I end up taking like 1,000 photos a day.
For many visitors, the first lake you will encounter is Grant Lake. It's a bit sparse along the shoreline, but there's pockets of color that really pop if you look around up against the rocky hillside.
Cottonwoods and willows and aspens all along the road.
Next on the loop is Silver Lake, which lives up to its name by reflecting the bright foliage off the glassy water. Silver Lake has one of the most dense tree populations on the loop, and above it all is Horsetail Falls.
It's huge, and so that just is, makes those fall colors even more dramatic when you see this huge waterfall coming down the mountains.
A good vantage point to see Horsetail Falls is from the Silver Lake Resort restaurant parking lot, which is also a good place to grab some breakfast or lunch. As you wrap around Silver Lake, there's a pull-off that leads you to a grove of quaking aspen. Be warned, you will run into other photographers waiting for the morning sun to hit the trees at just the right angle.
Truly, when you're trying to capture fall colors, you're really trying to chase light. That means you're getting up really early and you're staying out almost all the way until dark, or you're playing somewhere in between.
Just a little bit after noontime, a slight breeze will pick up in the mountains and you might start to see leaves at Gull Lake falling. I've learned that the leaves start to change color or fall, all depending on the weather.
Cold temperatures and the amount of daylight are what really trigger things to start to change. So in the fall, as we get less and less daylight every day, that gets things going. And then the reason the Eastern Sierra is such a great place to see fall color is because we start to get those cold nighttime temperatures.
Go ahead and stretch your legs. There's a few hiking trails at Gull Lake that'll get you under a nice canopy of changing leaves.
Once the leaves change, how long do you really have?
It's usually about 2 weeks, unless we get wind.
Oh, and did I mention autumn is also a great time for fishing.
What do you got there? Trout. Nice trout, huh?
Speaking of trout, June Lake, which is the final lake on the loop, is well stocked with fish. I was lucky enough to see a load of live trout dumped into the lake, which was perfect timing for these fishermen.
It's the most fish I've seen in my life, and I've been coming up here for years.
June Lake is not only well stocked with fish, but covered in fall colors. You can easily walk from the little town of June Lake to the water's edge, and along the bank, you'll see extravagant homes hiding behind foliage, which often takes longer to change color than the rest of the lakes.
Because of that elevation change, we have one of the longest fall color seasons historically anywhere in the area.
June Lake Loop is kind of an all-day affair, so if you get hungry, I suggest trying the famous pizza at June Pie or grab a beer at June Lake Brewing. Each spot has a great spot to view the fall colors.
Experiencing California's fall colors off the June Lake Loop, I'm John Bartel. Hope to see you on the back roads.
Now it's your turn. Got something in your town that you think would be a great road trip destination? Make sure you let John know about it by texting your idea to 916-321-3310. After the break, bills just keep going up, and PG&E wants another 20% increase this year. Welcome back. You might have just seen the commercial right on our air. So we've got another Firepower Money investigation coming your way because it's getting more and more expensive for Californians who rely on PG&E for electricity. Bills just keep going up, and the company wants another 20% increase this year. PG&E says it's about safety, arguing it needs to spend money to prevent the power grid from sparking more wildfires. But are you actually getting the safer power grid you're paying for? ABC 10's Firepower Money team investigated and found experts with serious doubts, including the prosecutors who convicted PG&E of crimes for starting the 2018 Camp Fire.
This is 16 million people's power bills.
Right.
They're going up all the time,
and it's supposed to get us a safer power grid. And behind the scenes, what's happening?
Not enough.
Follow the money in our latest Firepower Money investigation. Watch after the 49ers game on Monday night, only on ABC 10. And because of football, that's on Monday. To the Point will not have a show on Monday, but we'll be right back here on Tuesday at 6:30. And you already know we always love to know what's going on in your community. So make sure you email me and the team. You can reach out to us on tothepoint@abc10.com. Have a great night and a great weekend. Hey, it's Alex. Just wanted to say thank you so much for watching. I really love hearing from everyone, and I hope that you'll stay in touch. Reach out to me on Facebook at AlexBellTV, or you can email me at tothepoint@abc10.com, or you can even send me a text message at 916-321-3310.